Hey everybody, Jason here at Time Warp.
Hi, how
Can you
are
see
ya?
her over there?
Casey.
She's hiding from all of you, I know.
Hello.
So, tonight, we have somebody fabulous here, don't we?
We sure do.
So, we're a little early, so we'll talk for a second.
Okay.
Because we haven't gotten anybody jumping on yet. So, I hope everybody had a great thing. Wait, where are we at? Great New Year's. See? Great New Year's.
Happy New Year's, everyone.
Yes, Happy New Year's.
2022.
It's exciting, it's exciting.
All
I didn't
kinds
get
of
notification.
positive vibes.
Is it on?
Yep, it's on now.
Yep, here we go.
Look, I
People
didn't
are
get a
showing.
notification either.
No, we're trying to do something different before we get started.
See, that's why I'm
I
kind of
didn't either.
Hold
We
on.
want to ask questions here.
Live. Nothing.
Well, how is it not doing it? That is so strange.
Okay, you excuse us a second. I guess we're still learning. We'll be learning all through the next year too. All right.
We
so,
purposely came on live so that we could play on our phones in front of you.
Yeah, so I don't understand why.
So I
tonight
don't understand
here.
either.
Okay, Time Warp. Here we go. Time Warp Live. I got this post,
Yes.
and
Okay, well, we'll have to squint to see.
I don't have my glasses either.
Oh, my goodness. Well, we'll answer your questions after the fact.
Maybe Jason will be able to figure it
Yeah.
out. Jason,
Can you? It's the same phone you have.
that apple.
So, we have somebody exciting tonight. You guys have to check it out. We have an 11-year-old here who is doing his own comic books. Can you believe that? How exciting is that? How did we get to the live on that?
Okay.
Wait, we have an 11-year-old. How did we get to the live?
Yeah, come over here. You know all the technology.
You're having technical
Under Time Warp. See if you can get us to live.
Technical difficulty.
Okay, so we're having our guest take care of our problems for us.
He's
so
11 and he's smart.
It's craziness. We still
Okay.
got a couple minutes before we're actually live.
Okay.
That's why we only
okay.
have one person who's watching
Okay,
us.
that's
Going,
okay.
These silly people.
You can now add up to 3 guests to your broadcast. Hi, Shauna. Thanks for tuning in.
Yes,
we
thank
appreciate
you.
Shauna. Oh, we got 2 people.
Where do you see the second person?
Well, it just says 2.
Oh,
As I'm pointing.
let's get this off here.
I don't know
There we
how.
go.
Okay.
All
But
right.
Anyways, thank you for tuning in. Here's our special guest, Ulysses.
And we're going to be talking about comic books.
Hi,
And
Steve.
the reason we're going to be talking about comic books is because Ulysses draws his own comics and writes his own comics. Can you believe it? At 11 years old.
And they are very well written, drawn, and humorous.
He's
It's
extremely
very
talented.
funny.
You're
Yes.
going to see. He's probably going to end up working for Marvel or DC,
Yeah.
one of the two.
Very creative.
Actually, we
and...
all probably are.
Hi, Marilyn. Nice to see ya.
You know what I
Thanks
mean.
for tuning in.
So, comic books. What do you know about comic books?
That they go back to like
Forever
forever
and
and
a day.
ever, like the 1920s, 1930s.
Oh no, they go back to the 1600s if you think about
Probably,
it.
yeah. I mean,
Not the
because-
ones we know of
But
today.
like in the paper, like when they would
Oh,
write
yeah,
like
they always did it in the
newspapers, they
paper.
did like little, but not like a book, not a
Not
book.
like a book. Well, yeah, no, they had like little. They came in your newspaper,
Okay.
and they'd be like a funnies almost, but they'd be comics.
Okay.
But we all know, like Golden Age comics, which is 1938, which is the start of Action Comics
Okay.
that we know today that Marvel derived from, that different movies that we see today are deriving from.
Mhm.
But and Golden Age, which is that would be a Golden Age.
Okay.
From 1838 to 1956.
Is it called
Right,
Golden
Jason, the
Age?
Golden Age? Yeah. Action one.
Is it called Golden Age because of how long ago, or
Well,
that was the name
and
of it?
every one of those comics are worth money.
Okay.
And a lot of the comics that go for millions of dollars are from the Golden Age.
Okay. That
Okay.
makes sense. See, I'm learning about comics today too. I'm going to learn
So,
it from Jason
you have-
and from Ulysses.
Yeah, because Ulysses' father is like, he's got every comic information you need to know in his head. So
He's like,
I had to sit with him beforehand. So Golden Age comics, 1938 to 1956. Silver Age, 56 to 70, the year I was born.
okay.
And Bronze Age, 70 to 85. Then mass production happened, and everything went overseas, and billions of everything came out and reduced the price of comics going 85 and newer, which are the modern.
Right. So
Now-
mass production means that they just kind
They made so many of them that
Yeah, it
if
wasn't-
everybody has one, nobody wants one.
Right.
Nobody needs one. But when it comes to comics, there's so much ins and outs about comics. It's crazy.
Yeah, I'm going to be learning about that today. Thank you so
The
much,
very first
Gretchen and
comic-
Nicole.
The very first comics, 1682. It was the first comics that actually
In
used
1682?
1682.
Okay.
It's the first thing that used caption boxes, dialogue bubbles,
Okay.
balloons, panels, and it was called, I'm going to have to look. It was called A True Narrative of the Horrid, Hellish, Popish Plot. But what they did back then...
Popish or popish?
That's Popish.
Hmm.
What they did back then is...
Doesn't sound positive.
It was a lot of current events. They did their... based on current events, like you saw on Sundays.
So I guess their current events weren't too happy.
Apparently not. Well, then they
and
had...
That was in 1682.
That was in
And
1682.
Was that British? Or no, it was a pig?
No, that's... Francis Barlow did it.
Okay.
Yeah, Francis Barlow. But, you know, and then in 1842, they got a little bit better with the Obadiah Old Buck. And then we all know the Action Comics that came out in 38. But...
Which is Superman.
No.
No?
Action Comics would be Spider-Man, right? Superman? Was Superman Action Comics? Yes.
You wrote 1938
Superman was Action Comics.
I'm reading his notes.
Sorry. Because what threw me off was I was going to tell you about DC.
Oh, okay.
Because before Action 1...
Hi, Ruth. Thanks for tuning in.
Before Action Comics 1, there was the Detectives comic.
Oh, and that means DC, right?
DC is Detective
And I just
comic.
learned that today, and I'm embarrassed and ashamed to say that.
What?
But,
How old were you the day you learned that DC was Detective Comics?
51.
So was I. 11? No, you were probably 8 when you knew that. And 7?
Yes.
So we have so his knowledge, their knowledge
blows
is
us
crazy.
away.
It blows us
Yeah.
away.
Super
But that's why we
exciting.
have him here.
And it's going to be super exciting to
But I gotta tell
hear.
you, what's the most expensive comic you think? Superman, right?
No, I say Spider-Man.
Well, Action 1, Superman,
Okay.
from 1938, sold recently for $3.2 million. For $3.2 million. That's
The very first one.
the very first Action comic, 1938, which introduced Superman.
Okay.
It sold for $3.2 million. And then that was the most expensive comic book
Okay.
until September of 2021. In September of 2021, Action comic number 15,
And
which
what was
is
that?
Action Fantasy, Amazing Fantasies.
Amazing Fantasy number 15.
Amazing Fantasy number 15, the introduction of Spider-Man, sold in September of 2021 for $3.6 million.
Whoa.
So I'm going to tell you, Ulysses is in the right.
He's right. He's where he needs to be with the comics.
Absolutely, because he's going to draw one of
He'll make
these,
some money.
and you know, Dopey Dad, which is one of his comic lines, is probably Dopey Dad. Yep.
Which is very catchy,
Yes.
and any child who
So
has a dad.
one of these days,
It's
it could
gonna
sell
be
for
very
$3 million,
cool.
if not
You
more.
never know.
Of course, in 50 years, $3 million might be $30. So.
Well,
30 million,
it'll
maybe.
Still be
So we're going to be talking about comic books and his comic books. So I'm going to introduce here in a minute. Make sure I got everything. Oh, you need to go to his Instagram page. He has got an Instagram page that is.
Oh, thank you.
He has got an Instagram page that is called T-Rex, T-R-E-X, like the dinosaur, underscore Roar, R-O-A-R underscore comics. So T-Rex underscore Roar underscore comics. Go on there. He's got a few of them up. He's in the process of building that. So give him some likes, show him some love and support, because the boy's got talent and you need to see what it is.
And they are hilarious. They're super creative. He's got smarts. It's fun. It's bright. It's funny. I love his characters, and we can't wait for you to meet him.
So I'm not going to wait any longer. I'm going to introduce you to Ulysses and his father, Jason.
Let's go, big round of applause, Ulysses! Woo!
This is Ulysses.
Yay!
Wave to everybody. This is
Hello,
Jason, his
everybody.
father.
Hello, everybody.
And we are going to talk to him about his comic books. Have a seat.
I'm so
You want me to
excited.
get your
Thanks
chair?
for fixing us.
Okay.
I'm so happy to have you here, Ulysses.
Thank you, Nicole.
It's going to be a good interview.
It is.
So I got to tell you, Jason works for us. He runs this store. And Yuli is his son. And we couldn't have a better employee, I'm telling you. And especially when his son's gonna be worth millions one of these days.
He's priceless right now.
priceless
He's
right
priceless,
now.
meaning you are, you know what I mean.
Yes.
Yes.
So tell me, Yuli, show me one of your comics.
Well,
Oops, we have some
I
feedback.
have one for Time Warp.
Oh.
I can show you.
Look at this. So here we have Time Warp X. I gotta set these down. Time Warp X. I'm gonna show you close to the screen. I'll be up and down all over the place.
Yeah.
So he drew this one while he was here one day. And look at this. So one of the cool things is look, Steve, you made his comic. Right there. He's here checking out. And he's got Is This Heaven in the toy department, of course. And I love how you put Godzilla
Yeah.
up in there.
Definitely cool.
And then here, no, it's Time Warp. Steve, this is, when did you draw this?
I actually drew this today.
Oh, you drew this today?
Yeah,
I
before
didn't
you came.
draw this at Time Warp. I drew this at home, but since I knew I was coming over, so I drew a comic for you. I thought you guys could put
You
that
did this
up.
today,
Yes.
Yeah.
in spur of the moment.
So yeah, let them
Look
see
at
so they
that.
can read the whole thing, so they get a good look,
Look at that.
it.
He did that
Right before he came.
right before he came over here. So, I mean, come on.
It
that
is
quickly.
really, really great.
And
You have a
thank you,
nice
that is so
signature
sweet.
too.
So what else do you have?
Artist signature.
I have this one, which I've actually posted on my Instagram account.
Oh, this is Dopey Dad.
Yes.
This
So-
is my favorite.
I'm going to show this to you guys in a moment. Tell me, who's your inspiration for Dopey Dad?
Well, he's standing right behind you.
Ah.
Honestly, my dad was such a big part of my life, and
Aw.
pretty much he's the one who introduces me to comics, so I figured he might be in a comic.
Oh, that's awesome.
It's a lot easier than dreaming up a ton of characters, and like
Mhm.
I figured, why not, create a bunch of new weird characters when I have, inspiration right in front
Yeah,
of me.
your muse, your inspiration.
Yes.
And he's far from dopey.
No.
So that's why it's the character.
It's a stereotype.
Yeah, it's a
stereotype.
stereotype. So
So-
it's fun.
Some of the
Yes.
best, some of the most famous writers, some of the most famous artists use their family, use what they know as inspiration, and that's what makes a lot of this stuff so heartfelt and so meaningful because
Yes.
you do use it as inspiration. So this is his Dopey Dad, and if you go to his Instagram, you can see this.
Yes, and I have multiple others there too.
Yes, there's a whole bunch. There's a whole line of there.
Oh, good.
So winters in Michigan, honey. Yuli was in a snowball fight. Oh, he's frozen.
Yeah, he's
Look.
in a big block of ice.
He's in a big block of ice. How fun. So, when did you draw this one?
This was one because I was just brainstorming with my mom. This was when my Instagram account first was like out, and I drew up one because I tried to do a daily strip. I tried to.
That's awesome.
For a while, I didn't do it because I was sick, but I drew that one as my first one I posted.
Awesome.
I love it.
So, Dopey Dad is Jason.
Yes.
So you always want to take, inspiration from those around you because that's what you know, that's what you write about. Some of the best, like I said, some of the best authors I've written have taken the stuff from around them.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So-
and you're doing good, more than
you.
good.
You
Yes.
can go on to T-Rex underscore
Comics.
roar underscore comics, and you can see the entire Dopey Dad section. What else do we have?
Which is so much fun. I think a lot of children
I
will
drew-
relate with those.
Some pictures of my characters. I have a ton of characters. Some I haven't even introduced into my Instagram account, but
So-
I've made them.
The Barnabas. Who's Barnabas?
Barnabas is my dog, and
Mhm.
he is a black lab and a German Shepherd.
Black Lab and German Shepherd.
He's Shepherdor. So
Oh, I like that.
he is honestly he has very bad temper,
Oh,
and
really?
so we have cats, and he chases the cats around, and sometimes he can just be such a big pain in the butt. Like if mom and dad give me attention, he gets all riled up, and he's just
Because he wants attention.
he wants
right?
attention.
So why not put him in a comic, right?
Yeah, lots of good. That's
So,
fun
He's
storytelling.
he's like a Garfield. Almost.
oh, that's perfect.
Ah,
See,
cool.
so do you look at a lot of your everyday activity and everyday surroundings as parts of comic books?
Yes. Not like this happened, I'll put it in a strip, but like what could I think of? Like, if I say something funny, I'd come up with, like, humor for my mom when we're out shopping, and she's like, that could be a comic strip.
That's good.
That is
I
awesome.
love that. So it's
I
like
love that you do that.
I love that it's a whole family thing too. Your mom and dad support you.
Even my grandparents, they're in the strip.
That is awesome.
Great.
And I hear your mom wrote one when she was younger.
She did. It was called Big Headed Arnie. And if my grandparents are watching,
Big Headed Arnie.
it's based off of my grandfather. So,
You said that, okay.
my mom did a great job. It
That's
was
better.
sort of a Far Side kind of
Mhm.
show. It was one panel, and it was just Big Headed Arnie, and he would be in a situation. Like Christmas, or, you know.
That's awesome.
Something like obscure. So Farside, he's familiar with Farside comics.
Yeah.
He's
So
familiar
they're
with
like-
all.
Okay, all comic strips. So yeah, that's kind of cool. So it's kind of like obscure, kind of funny, kind of.
So we all know who Dopey Dad is,
Mhm.
but I have a question about your picture here. Dopey Dad. What are the two things from his beard?
Those are the strings for a sweatshirt.
Awesome. Okay, I thought maybe at one time you had little tails hanging out of your beard.
Yep.
He's thinking your dad has like little
Sweatshirt's
braids
like
and
So-
my uniform.
Your name is Ulysses, right?
Yes.
What is your name in the comic books?
Unruly Yuli. Yuli
So-
was my nickname my
Mhm.
parents give me. So I figured I would make a really bad version of me. If,
Mhm.
you know, he's addicted to video games and YouTube, eats junk food, you know. But then again, he's sort of a Calvin, you know?
Mhm.
from Kevin Nutt.
So he's just sort of, he's an adventurer, an explorer.
Yes.
But then he sticks to the simple things in life, like
I love it.
lying on the couch on a Sunday.
Yes, I love it. Oh my god.
That's amazing that you look at every activity from a Dopey book point of view.
Thank you.
Yes.
That is pretty
He
amazing.
So yeah, you were very
So
imaginative.
we have
and
one more
creative.
character here that's in the Dopey Dad series and
Yes.
stuff, and it's Mystery Baker. Mystery Baker. Who's Mystery Baker?
Yeah, I want to know about this because you can't see. Oh wait, I think it's Dad.
I don't think it's Dad because Dad is
He's wearing sweatpants.
yes, but Dad is
Dad's wearing
Dopey
jeans.
Dad.
I try to do.
because
so
Dad does
then
not wear
that-
sweatpants.
Oh yeah, and you know what? And
So-
there's bows on the shoes.
And
so
I
it
doubt
must
there's
be your mom.
sweatpants. That might be a sweatshirt.
It's my mom.
It's your
Okay.
mom.
So what I did was my mom is an amazing cook. If you
Okay.
didn't know, she's an amazing cook. So what I
Oh,
did
nice.
is
That's a nice compliment.
I turned it into sort of a joke, sarcasm,
hmm
and I turned her into a terrible cook. So every time that she would appear, I would have smoke covering her face.
That's what that is.
That's
Yes.
so
Yes.
funny.
Smoke covering her face.
And so at one time, Mom, when I was doing a test for my introductory strip, like if it was the first issue, and she said, you know, why not call me Mystery Baker instead?
I love it.
That's awesome.
And that's how it happened. I get
So-
a lot of inspiration from my mom. She helps a lot.
That is
I hear
awesome.
that, and I see that. It's
So,
very thoughtful.
Again, I'm seeing this pattern where you're taking somebody's like the best attributes they have
And you're
flipping
flipping
it, and that's the character.
Like
Yes.
your dad isn't dopey, and your mom isn't a bad cook. So they're both the opposite of that. So you're
Opposite
kind
of
of just
that.
flipping it to make it funny,
Mhm.
and yeah, I love it.
And
Well,
you'll
that's a good
notice
idea.
with Unruly Yuli, his shirt says Pick them on.
Yes, I meant to ask you about that.
What that was from is it's my version of Pokemon. I think of Dopey Dad as its own universe.
Uh-huh.
Of course, they introduce like the multiverse and stuff. It gets
Right, right.
crazy. But I do my own version of things. So let's say instead of Coke, I call it Cake with a C-A-K apostrophe E.
Mhm.
And it's a drink.
Okay,
Ah,
I like
okay.
that.
So, what's hilarious is a lot of this is very, very Meow Wolf.
Oh yeah.
It's very Meow Wolf. Are you
Yeah.
familiar with Meow Wolf?
No.
It's well, it's more of an adult thing, but it's where it's like a grocery store where they change the names of stuff.
Yeah.
But I like
Like
your
But it's
version better.
animated.
Because you had some stickers over by the cashier.
Mhm.
I took a little bit of inspiration from that.
That's the Wacky Packs.
The Wacky Packs.
Yeah,
yes.
like
Yes.
the garbage pail kids.
Yeah.
things
Well, no,
like-
the Wacky Packs would have been before
Wacky
that.
Packs, Okay.
Yeah. But yes, and that's the starting of imagination. See, this is what happens when
Like-
you're not on a phone every day. 5 times a day. You start imagining things. You start creating things. Can I see one of those?
Sure. So before I get to the big showstopper,
Okay.
well, not a big showstopper, but my
Oh,
original,
yes.
my logo.
That's your
His
original?
logo.
That's your logo?
Yeah, this is my new logo I use for my Instagram account. I really
love
just
it.
use the dinosaur, but that's the full thing.
Instagram. Instagram.
Love the map.
Go on there, like it, follow it,
I have
because
a ton of dinosaur books, so I just
he's going to have some good stuff.
Nice, nice.
And this is underscore, if you need to know. The little lines are underscores.
I love how appreciative you are of your family, your mom, your dad, your grandparents. I mean, you put a lot, that's really nice that a young man like you.
This is my first strip ever made. Now, it's not my best work, I'd say, but this is historical. This is my first strip I
This
ever
isn't
made.
what's on your page.
No, I haven't put this on my page.
Okay, so you're
So
seeing
it's-
this here the first time.
Yeah, so this is his first strip.
This is the first time anyone has seen this outside my family and my friends.
Are you
So
okay
I'm
with
going
it
to
going up?
show it
I'm
back
okay
here.
with
Okay, because I
So-
want to make sure.
This is historical.
Historical.
So-
History being made. Dun, dun,
Next
dun,
week we'll
dun.
usually make it through school. Is this page 1?
That one is page 1.
Okay. Page 1. Now, you guys will not see these on his Instagram page.
I haven't posted them yet.
No.
I may after this.
You can read them after this on his
They're
Instagram
good. I
page.
like them. I think
But
they
until
should.
then, these are his rough sketches of them.
I am meaning to remake some of my older strips and post them. But once I add
That's
color.
awesome.
My main thing I do is I add color to my strips that I post.
You add what?
Color.
Oh, color. Yeah.
Color. Okay. Yeah, I was gonna say you should definitely. I wouldn't even redo those. Those are his. That's history. That is
Yes.
like the original. You could. I think you should put those on there so you could see where you came, and it was like you're working your progress.
Yes.
You know, your ideas out. I love that.
So, Yuli, tell us why comic books?
I think comic books are an easy to read format.
Okay.
It shows expression like that you normally couldn't tell, and it almost encourages kids to read. I don't want to sound like a librarian.
No,
But
that's
it-
great.
It encourages kids to read. I know it encourages me to read,
Mhm.
but
Me
you know,
too.
I think
and
that's awesome.
like somebody says, "You're okay, kid." If someone was in a book, you couldn't tell if that was a compliment or sarcasm.
Right.
But in a comic,
Ah.
you could add like facial features, expression, all sorts of stuff.
This kid's going far.
That's
I'm
awesome.
So
That's a good way to
proud
put
of
that,
you.
too. That's a good way to
You
put
told me
that.
you liked the
Say
video.
that again.
Yeah.
Well, I really like how it has expression, facial features. You can show what it looks like. But the thing with comics that's a little restricting is it's almost like a movie where if you drew out, I don't know, the Hunger Games.
Right.
And like same thing with the movie, you would sort of restrict how somebody's brain could visualize that character.
Right. Because it's not 3D. It's
Yeah, because it's like if somebody's brain thinks of a character one way and you draw it the other way, it's a little conflicting.
gotcha. But yeah, you know what?
That's awesome.
I'm 51 years old. Comics make me want to read. I'm
No.
not the best read. You know, I love books and I love to read and I love to get lost in them. But comics are easier for me. I really enjoy it and it keeps me. It motivates me. And I
Yes.
love to laugh. So most comics, yeah, some comics are darker. Some are action, drama. But I love the funny ones.
Yeah. The one thing that you have to be careful with comics is you don't read it all the time. You have to toss in a few literature, even like books with a few pictures. I mean, I'm not saying that everybody has to read the complete works of Shakespeare, but
I love it.
I'm saying you should throw in a few books. Otherwise, you'll never develop any like reading skills.
Not only
for
that,
you.
you won't expand your ideas of
You
what
won't
you want to
yeah.
do with your comics that you're drawing, because you can tie in some of Shakespeare's stuff into your comics as well as some
Mhm.
other,
Mhm.
you know, authors and you know, critically acclaimed.
You have wisdom.
Stories
beyond
and
your
stuff.
years, young
Thank
man.
you. Or even like when Calvin or Garfield sort of makes a reference to Shakespeare, but they sort of change it almost.
Right.
Like they use it in a different situation.
That is awesome.
Love it.
So, we talked about golden age and silver age, bronze age, and modern age. What's your favorite age?
Silver Age.
Why is that?
It started to get more popular, and they hired more artists, and they still had some really relatively fresh ideas. Like nowadays, it's just sort of a repeat of ideas, because there's only enough to go around before it gets smaller and smaller. And like with copyright, they're restricting ideas almost. Like,
You're right. They are. You're absolutely right. This is. Can you believe this? He's 11 years old. You're
I'm
11, right?
Yeah,
I'm 11.
I'm
So-
I turned 11 on December 2nd.
Oh, so you just turned 11.
I just turned 11.
my mind is blown.
Mine too.
I feel like you've been in the comic book business and, like I said, wise beyond your years for like years. I feel like you've been doing this. Like this is
My first comic I ever made, I'm pretty sure my dad has it. I'm not sure where it is. I think I know where it is. But it's a Batman thing I did where I made my own little Batman comic. It's not that good, it's not that bad, but I drew stick figures and sort of did that stuff. It's impressive. I think I was like 6 years old. What did I originally want to call my comic business? It was like
Well, it was T-Rex Head was the name of it.
oh, that's neat.
before that. I remember you said it was
This
like a
kid.
rock band
Awesome.
that
I
you
love
used.
Can you believe
They
it?
changed
Like
his
this.
name.
Big hearts.
I
Big hearts. Big hearts.
I feel like I need to go back to school.
I know. I'm like, would you be my teacher?
So, Dad, tell me what's it like having
Yeah.
an artist? I mean, you are as well, but
It's been really rewarding. It's nice to have somebody who is up and coming, who is interested in some of the same stuff that I was interested in. I can still feel that jazz because I remember what it was like to be 11 and to be working on stuff or to discover new stuff. And I guess what's really nice about having that around is being able to offer that word of support, offer that word of advice,
You
throw
take
something out and
And
say,
it's-
if you're not working this way, try it this way.
He's
Now-
really helped me, actually.
Aww.
Like, he's helped the
I can
time.
imagine. I've known you for several years now.
Yeah.
You are a huge comic book fan.
Yeah.
Yes.
Huge. Like, his knowledge of comic books is crazy. It must be great. I mean, like being a kid.
Must be it.
Yes, yes. We'll have, I mean, his mother will tell you, we have conversations that stretch on for hours about, which character came out of where.
Now, does she jump into those conversations too?
Every once in a while, she's
That's
got something
awesome.
to contribute as well, or she recognizes one of the overarching literary metaphors. Because
Ah.
Mom is the big literature mom.
Right,
Mom
I know
is-
she
Mom
is, yeah.
really interested, and she grabs a lot of those big themes and metaphors.
So she'll pick out a Shakespeare if
Oh,
she
yeah.
Yes.
saw it or heard it. She'll pick out and say, "Oh, that's from so and so. That's from
Yep.
so and so."
Yep.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
I think it's so fun that you get to share like this special, like such special creative. Well, you're creating treasured memories with your dad and your
Yes.
parents, and you're gonna be able to talk about this stuff for a long time.
Yes.
You're like creating new
What-
things all the time.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, it's okay.
What was your first inspiration to sit down and write a comic book? You've written one, right? Sorry, you've written one, right? Was it you? Him reading your comics?
No, quite frankly, Ulysses was a really big Batman fan when he first started.
Uh-huh.
He came by that naturally. I as a comic book guy and a father, I tried very hard not to push my hobbies and my pastimes and my passions on him. He sort of got into Batman a bit at a time, just from seeing him around and finding things here and there. And once that hit, he started kind of rolling with it. And so, after a while, he was picking up, strips from here and
That's
there,
awesome.
looking at comics that we had.
Yeah.
And I think just really wanting to tell stories with the drawings that he had.
Right.
The thing I originally did, which I stopped because I realized that, because I originally made action comics, not like the brand, but
Right. I know.
superheroes, clashes,
Right.
all of that action jazz, But I changed that because I realized I wasn't that good at it, and I feel like my talents were more in cartooning, caricatures.
I love it.
So let me ask you, do you foresee yourself doing comics in the future, or maybe animation, or maybe working for somebody like the Disney or Pixar?
Definitely
or...
not working for anybody. I feel like Disney and Pixar are big
Fine,
enough as
I
they
mean,
are.
Just like,
But no, I feel like I really just want to be my own, sort of do my own thing. That's always been my dream
right.
to.
I got a question, but keep going.
Okay. It's always been my dream to have my own sort of comic.
Okay, so
That's
comic
awesome.
book on a more animation level. than action hero.
Yeah.
Do you ever think about, like, definitely doing all of that, but if you ever got a job, like, what if someone asked you, would you illustrate, like, a children's book? Or, you know, because I love...
You ever thought about writing a book? Or an illustrated book?
Or, like, a pre-teen... You know what I mean? But,
I have.
like, cartoons.
I'm really good at doing literature, you know, like books. But I thought, you know, it has... Usually I just want to... I thought comics were a great way to combine my love of storytelling
That's
and
where
my
your heart
love of
is.
art.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah, I like
In
that.
comics. The fact that doing an illustrated book isn't out of the question, but you're going to focus on
Yes.
the comic.
Calendar.
Oh, that calendar would be
That
awesome.
would be fun.
Well,
yeah,
you do
calendar.
you do like merchandise, don't you?
Yeah,
Yeah, a calendar
You
would
know
be
what I
cool.
mean? Something
You
for
could do a
each
comic
month.
calendar.
Maybe you guys could be my business partner, and I
There
would
you
sell
go.
calendars.
I would sell your
Yeah,
calendar.
do it.
Okay, I will.
That,
If you enjoy
you could do a
it.
comic calendar.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Yes. Like
I've seen comic calendars
like
before.
maybe
For each season, you do like a little, like you're drawing, like there. That's
Yeah.
a winter.
maybe I could do a little like on the 24th. I could make a little illustration of Barnabas trying to get the star on top
Right.
of the tree.
I love
Exactly.
it.
Trying to,
Just
yeah.
sort of do that, yeah.
So you have a lot of
That's a
pets,
great
right?
idea.
I have a lot of pets. I have a turtle, a snake, a gang of guppies in the turtle tank, a few cats, and a dog.
Barnabas,
Wow.
right?
Barnabas.
So how come none of your other pets are in here?
They are. I haven't introduced them yet.
Oh, okay. So we have things to look forward to.
I'm excited.
We should do a second part to this, and I
Uh-huh.
just bring over all my comic stuff, and we can just go through it, and it'll be like a 2-hour
Yes,
thing.
that
It'd
would
be
be
the 2 hour
great.
thing.
Because he has his own comics. He made his own comics.
I know. I've seen it.
Well, yeah, we can continue this. You know,
Oh,
It'll be an
absolutely.
ongoing series.
That'd be
Absolutely.
awesome. Like once a month, just keep having you come back.
That's another great idea.
Well, you'd have to draw. You'd have to start drawing like something new every month.
Yes.
Yeah, we're
So,
getting that calendar for next year.
how much fun is this? Can you believe this? I mean,
This kid's blowing me away.
it's fantastic. I mean, you pick up the comic books. Pick up comic books. This kid's going to be drawing and writing these for the rest of his life.
My Barbarous.
I'm going to be 90 years old
Yeah.
and reading one of Uly's comedies.
Yeah.
Comics.
My Barbarous, her name is Sierra. She works at Chapton Woods. Shout out.
I love
But
it.
she works at Chapton Woods Barbershop, and she's really impressed. Like, I send her over comics, and she takes them home and she reads them. She has a huge collection of comics I've just given her.
Awesome.
So, yeah, she's a big fan of my comics.
Have you ever done?
Maybe she'll watch this sometime.
Have you
That'd
ever
be
been on
awesome. Yeah,
TV
you should-
before?
What?
Have you ever been on TV before?
No.
You
Have you
know
ever-
what? You
have you
feel
ever
like
been
a
on-
natural.
Have you ever had an interview of any sort before where it was done live?
Nope.
Okay.
Is this
You're
blowing your
natural.
mind?
My Instagram
Mhm.
account is the farthest I've ever gone.
Really?
'Cause then you're putting your ideas out on the internet.
Well, you're putting your ideas out
And
there.
then
yes.
plagiarism. Gets
It can, yes. But as you grow, you'll learn about different things you can do to
Yes.
protect that.
Yep.
Creative
Copyright.
integrity.
Copyright. Yes.
Passive, yeah, copyrighted.
Creative integrity.
But you know what? Like, you seem like you've been, now you're so young, but you seem like you've been doing it since you were 1, if you could. But no, you seem like you've done this before. Like, interviewing, I mean, smooth and cool
I
as
just
a
watched a
cucumber.
lot of YouTube when I was a kid.
Is that what it is?
I watched like Hobby Kid, all sorts of stuff. And
That's your secondary dream, I think, is to be a
YouTuber, yes.
One of the things that you're gonna have to work on as you get older
You
is
do
what
it.
your creativity is worth.
Yes.
Because at some point you're gonna start selling your comics and your art.
Maybe I'll be a rival to Time Warp. and
You
we'll
could be. You never know.
Partner.
But you have to come up.
Partner.
business
Partner,
partner.
yes.
But you have to decide what you're worth. So
He's priceless.
going forward, you're going to have to
Meaning
decide
good.
what is my art worth, because you're so talented with your drawing and your creativity that you're going to be making money off your creativity in the future. So thinking
And I
about
have painted a couple of cats for my mom, and she said they were exceptional. I
bet
did
they
one of
are.
my cat Sophie, scratch on her nose, like her eyes damaged and her hip.
Aw.
But we took her in, and she's my cat. And I did one of Finn, who is Dad's cat.
Uh-huh.
She's in the comic. She always looks pouty. She's a cat and she always looks pouty because she's so serious.
You have
Well, I am
charisma.
so happy that you were able to join us. We're running out of time, unfortunately.
okay.
I am so happy that you were able to join us.
Thank you.
You impressed the hell out of me.
You impress me. You have
You do.
charisma, character.
I have to give credit to Dad and to Mom if you're
Yes.
watching.
Holy
will.
moly.
You
If I
impressed
could clone
the crap out of
him,
me.
I'm like, I don't have any kids. I want him.
Wait
And
till,
but
wait till bedtime.
it's okay. I mean,
So-
no, you are outstanding.
Don't forget to be an 11-year-old kid, and because you're not going to be one again. So
I think
enjoy
that's
it, and I'm
amazing.
so happy that you're having fun with your
Yeah.
Thank you.
comics.
And
So
if you-
remember, you guys, what is your Instagram page?
It's T-Rex_roar_comics.
T-Rex_roar_comics.
Hashtag Dopey Dad, Unruly, T-Rex Roar Comics, independent artist, independent comics.
Link is on our page.
Ulysses! Woo!
Thank
You can find the link on our page. You can find the link on YouTube. You
It
can
was
find
amazing
it
for me,
here.
too.
So check out Yuli's page and check out his cool comics and how
Let's
smart he
support
is.
him. Let's get everyone supporting Ulysses.
Thank you.
You know?
Thank you guys so much for coming.
Than's for having us.
So
This has been amazing. This has
we
been
will
my
wrap it up.
favorite.
Thank
So
you.
this has been my favorite video that we've done
Stay
here at
tuned.
Time
Maybe
Warp.
we'll have maybe we'll make a series of this.
You
Yes!
never know.
You never
You never
know.
know.
It'd be nice to see him
Thanks
like
for
once a month.
Oh, here, Barnabas.
Thank you.
Thanks
I
for
wouldn't-
tuning in.
I wouldn't want to leave him.
No.
No, please.
So, thank you guys. Thank you everybody who tuned in to feel like we all need to go back to school now.
I know exactly
Which
because.
is a great compliment to you. Trust me.
Thank you.
You know what? For some reason, I couldn't see like all the people coming up on screen online, so I couldn't.
So, thank you guys. Follow us here on
you.
Instagram, IGTV under Time Warp Vintage, as well as YouTube. But this will be available on YouTube, on our YouTube page tomorrow, as well as our IGTV. Nicole, it's always so much fun.
Well, thanks.
You're awesome, Nicole. Round of applause for Nicole.
Thank you.
And
You're so sweet.
we have a lot coming up. We have a show down at the CRC. We have possibly a Detroit pinup joining us, and a lot of cool, fun stuff. Happy New Year, you guys.
Happy New Year, and thank
New
you for
Year.
joining us.
You guys have a great day, and we will talk to you soon. Bye.
Guys, and please tell us if you
Great
come
joining
in.
you.
Please tell us if you enjoyed this so that we can tell them.
Absolutely.
Okay?
And go to his page and like it. Bye, you guys.
Bye.
Oh my God, Ulysses, you are amazing.